This is an IELTS Breakthrough YouTube video, and here we're going to be talking about how to answer opinion questions. Opinion questions are a question type that you can expect in part 3 of the speaking test. If you didn't watch the video on the different question types for part 3 of the speaking test, please go ahead and do that as well. I'll put a card in at this point. And make sure you keep watching to the end of this video so that you are confident in answering the opinion-based question for part 3 of the speaking test. It is a really common question type and you do need to be ready for it. Let's just get started by reminding you of the opinion-based questions that you could expect. Here are some examples. Do you think it is a good idea to learn about recycling? It is said that anyone can become good at anything as long as they put the effort in. Do you agree? Some people say it is better to rent a house than to own it. What do you think? Here are the strategies in answering this kind of opinion-based question. Obviously, the structure of your answer is quite simple and obvious, really, isn't it? Firstly, you will say whether you agree or disagree, and then you will give some reasons that explain your opinion. The key thing to remember here is how to state your opinion. Basically, you have two options. You can state a strong opinion, that is where you agree 100% or 90% agree. The other option is to give a less strong opinion, and this is where you only agree or disagree by about 60 or 70%. It's important to be clear about how strong your opinion is because you need to choose the appropriate language that shows the examiner how strong your opinion is. Here is some useful language that you can use then. Let's start with the strong opinions because they are pretty easy. One of the easiest things to do is to use adverbs like completely, absolutely, totally. I completely agree, I totally agree, and so on. But you can also use some idiomatic phrases like this. I am in full support of this. That's out of the question. Here, if you want to express a strong opinion, don't be afraid to be direct about it, because basically a strong opinion is going to be speaking directly to the examiner. And again, the examiner is not so much interested in your opinion itself, it's how you express your ideas that is the thing that affects your score. The other type of opinion is where you are not 100% or 90%, you are in maybe 60 or 70% agree or disagree, or even just 55% agree or disagree. Here are some useful phrases you can use. I am in two minds about this. I would agree if. I would think it's okay if. So with the partial agreement, a useful trick is to use if. And you could make this even simpler. You could just say, I agree if, and then state the conditions under which you agree. Once you have stated your opinion, the next thing to do is to give your reasons. And a useful tip is to just basically tell the examiner, here come 1, 2, or 3 reasons now. So just signal the reasons with this kind of language. This is because I have 2 reasons to say so. I have 3 reasons to say so. You can also simply use the things like to begin with, firstly, secondly, finally. Okay then, that's how to do it. Now, let me just make this clear with a few examples from those questions that I looked at the start of the video. Do you think it is a good idea to learn about recycling? I completely agree. This is because people throw so much stuff away. Now we have a real problem, especially with plastic waste. And the second example, it is said that anyone can be good at anything as long as they put the effort in. Do you agree? I'm not sure about that. It depends on a person's natural talents and what they are trying to do. For example, a 55-year-old person who is short probably will not become a professional basketball player. And here is example number 3. Remember the question? Here it is. Some people say it is better to rent a house than to own it. What do you think? It depends on your circumstances. Some people do not have enough money for the deposit. The other thing is that people might not have a long-term job situation. That is how you answer the opinion-based questions in part 3 of the speaking test. Take a look at the examples and consider the ideas that you might use to answer them. Remember, you can join the IELTS Breakthrough Study Zone. This is a special training zone for people who are taking the academic module of IELTS. All you need to do is go to IELTSBreakthrough.org and look at the information there. It's got everything you need to know in order to get a high score in the academic IELTS test quickly, easily, without any stress. Take a look now. Remember to subscribe to the IELTS Breakthrough YouTube channel. I've got lots of very useful videos that give you the tips and strategies you need to get a high score in IELTS. Click that subscribe button and make comments down below if you have any questions. Thank you very much. Have a wonderful morning, afternoon, evening, day and week. I'll see you in the next video.